sér krummi eftir stjæl, etnig binde gokken vel, fløy úr fjallagjóðu, fløy úr fjallagjóðu. Vítir yfir byggt og bú, að bæjum fyrr en vatnið hjú, vævar vængjum skjóðu, vævar vængjum skjóðu.
And for the last metal part,
yes.
Is that like the last part now?
Almost.
Almost, all right.
We have the little bronze colored buttons as well. I already painted the ones on the model, but haven't done these, so we can show them on cam.
Okay, great.
All right, so we will start again with the dark metal tone. This time we'll add some turquoise to the mix.
Mm-hmm. It's always good to have some blue, or in this case turquoise, in the mix for metal, right?
Yeah,
for like weapons and swords and these kind of things.
Yeah. One additional reason why I decided to add some turquoise into the mix is I have painted the shield in a black-blue material and just some metal edges showing, so I have quite some blue and close to the metal.
Ah, okay.
So by adding metal here, it kind of harmonizes the metal parts overall.
I really don't know if I had too much coffee or whether I'm actually genuinely excited about the Shield Maiden getting finished. I think it's the latter.
We will mix a darker version from the same tone with some black. And we have to pay close attention to the shape of that axe. So, placing a shadow here. And softening it out.
Is that just water now?
No, it's a bit of the base color.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering, with metal pigments, it's not so easy to just use water, is it?
Yeah, sometimes it's kind of hard also to get that transition in the gloss to work.
Yeah, I was wondering why you're not using a loaded brush in the beginning. Could have probably done the same as well.
Yeah.
It's amazing how dark it actually looks when it's completely wet, and now it's really kind of fading into the material.
And you can see it works as well quite nice because it's not as glossy as the front part of the axe. Okay, continue just thinner to increase the contrast.
And we see that quite a bit on pictures we get from you guys in our Slack channel and the work in progress section there, that oftentimes the true metal is very flat. There's very little contrast going on, and that's really one of the keys for true metal, is basically to, once the metal is on there, try to do the same thing as you would do with a non-metallic metal, is to really increase the contrast.
Yeah, and also make it really look somewhat painted, you know, and not only metal colored.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to think where we want to place the highlights. I want to place a highlight here on that edge, same as the front, a little bit broader on the sharp side of the blade. Therefore, I need to also tone down the front part here.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Right now, Ben is still using metal paints. There's of course different ways of enhancing contrast. I'm pretty sure that you will use glazes later on as well.
Yeah.
The reason I'm mentioning that is that the metal paints still, of course, have metal pigment, and when you're using glazes later on to darken things down, then you'll lose lose the metal part of it, or at least in parts. But you'll see what I mean in a moment.
Okay. Let's do one of those glazes. Okay, now it's just black with a bit of blue.
Yeah, you can not see too much yet as far as difference in metal pigments.
Yeah, but that is also because the tone that we started with is actually not that light. It's quite a dark metal tone, so the glazes won't make that strong impact. But we'll see what happens once I add the highlight. Okay, I will do the highlights in the silver metal.
So again, here you can see it's pretty much the same as with a non-metallic metal. You have a dark area on the metal part, and now the blade hits the light area hits the dark area, just to maximize the contrast there.
And with some of the basic metal tone that we had, feathering it out to the sides. Right, and now mix a little bit lighter, but not pure silver paint, to get some light down here. And also some silver here to get some of that texture, some of those scratches.
And there's actually a lot of sculpted scratches, correct? Or is it just an impression? Looks like it.
Yeah, there are a lot of tiny scratches in there. They look a bit like maybe they're in the act due to the sharpening process, not actually then like damaged.
Yeah.
Okay. And as we have brown overall in the whole model, I will also introduce some of the tank brown now. Also, it's always good to have a balance between the blue and some brown tones. I will do that here in the shadow area, and you can see with the glazes I try to push more blue to the upper part of the blade. Now I try to pull it out a little to the lower side to have a difference in the overlapping tones.
Nice. See, I would have done that wrong. I would have actually put it all over the shadows. But you're kind of doing the opposite, really, don't you?
Yeah, with
On that part there, I mean, yeah.
with the controlled placing of different lights and the overlapping of different layers, you can achieve quite a nice, interesting metal.
Mm. You can see that Ben actually works very, very thin right now. Rather 2 or 3 little glazes than one that's too strong.
Yeah, also because the impact on the gloss is quite strong and I don't want to overdo things. But yeah, I think that already looks quite good. We have to put it in place on the figure to see actually how it works on the model itself.
Mm-hmm.
So we take some black to bring some dark shadow in here.
Yeah, really a lot of contrast from the glow there.
Yeah, because you don't want any of the metal paints from the very shadow to reflect light.
Yeah.
Right, so I think color-wise it works really nice together. I think that scratch here is just a bit too big on the top. So I'm putting a dark line next to it to indicate a deeper scratch and take the light line as a reflection line.
It's actually a little tricky, isn't it? Like holding the arm with the one hand and so it doesn't move.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I think that works really good. And it looks really nice together regarding the tones.
Yeah.
Also because it somehow works well together with the green-blue that we have in here.
Yeah. That's really cool. I like it. Do you like it, Ben?
Yes, I like it a lot.
Nice. Okay, so you'll do the other half of cam, I guess?
Yeah, do the other half of cam, also glue the armor in place and
The bronze.
yeah, the bronze.
Will you do that now?
Yeah, I think I'll do that now because it's just a very quick 1 or 2 brush strokes.
Okay. So this will be a very, very quick part.
Yeah. So I'll mix some of the light metal paint with some ink. It's some flash wash, I guess. We've used the flash wash also for other metal parts, for other leather parts. So it's nice because we have the same metallics with some color that we've used in other parts before, and it's also good just to get a harmonic outcome in the end. Okay. It's quite silver now. We need to let that dry and then enhance the contrast with some of the ink.
Ah, yeah. It takes that brightness away quite a bit.
Yeah, plus it's close to the other colors because we've used the ink before, but still you have the nice reflectiveness of the metal. Right.
But you're going to use it very kind of sparsely overall. You're not painting the whole structure.
No, just really the let's say cleanly sculpted, where it's clearly visible what are these are some kind of metal The others I just highlight them with white because I'm not sure if they're actually covered by some kind of material. All right, so that's it for the metal parts. I will finish the axe off cam on the other side and
Glue everything together.
and
Then we'll have a look.
yes.
Awesome.
All right.
All right. So
Almost everything is together. We still have the shield separate. I glued it in place, but you can see that with the glue marks back there. But I actually wasn't happy with the contrast here to the miniature. On cam it looks okay, but in real life it just needs a little bit more definition, a little bit more light.
yeah,
And we will show that here on one, and I continue then.
and you very carefully removed the miniature from the shield
Yeah,
with one or two sweat beads on your forehead. Yeah, but so there's it's actually interesting on the camera. It looks quite contrasty, but under one light source it doesn't. Also there's like a little dry mark on the left which you didn't like so much.
Yeah, here the darker spot over here.
Yeah.
So I want to, let's start working on that. So yeah, I want also to be that part here to really match in contrast with the miniature in real life, because sometimes it's good to some parts are just good like that because they look similar on cam than they look off cam, but we really want to make sure that this thing looks good. So it's really important to adjust also minor things like that in the end. I think all those really finalizing works on the miniature are so important, even if you have to rip off the shield again like I had to. Yeah,
I think one of the reasons why the contrast doesn't strike that much either is because it's also brown compared to the backside of the shield, where basically the contrast was almost the same, but it looks obviously very different if you have a light blue on there.
Yeah, that's true. The backside is really still quite amazing if you see it, and the level of contrast is nearly the same as you just said. But also because we have a lot of brown tones within the whole miniature.
Yeah. And also one thing that's not that you can't really underestimate is the size of the shield. It's just big.
Yes. I just said to Michael off cam, it's funny because it's the shield has almost the same dimensions as my whole crystal brush entry. So yeah, that is really big, especially as we're all miniature painters. And it just fits perfectly into the box. Like half centimeter bigger would have been quite a problem.
Yeah. So you can see that Ben pushes the individual little, what are they called? Not scratches, but
Wood grain.
wood grain, yeah. Pushes them quite a bit. And of course that's going to be also a pretty time consuming thing because you've done this before. Now you have to do it again.
Yeah, I'm not going over the whole, I'm just concentrating more on that area here. Because actually there we had the biggest.
Yeah. You can already see a big difference.
Yeah. I think now actually like that, I think I'm quite happy. I would just continue a little bit here and there but that maybe takes me about 15 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And I think then the shield should be fine.
Okay, great. So we'll do this off cam again. The rest.
All right.
I think what you're doing is clear.
Yeah.
And then we'll carefully glue the shield back on.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
So the last and final all right for this video.
Yeah. Absolute beauty.
Yeah, I'm really happy how everything turned out here with this miniature. A lot of small little things I tried different this time. So such as the makeup, for example. Also, the scale is quite challenging. I wanted to add because most of us paint usually smaller figures, and also for a 1:10 scale bust. This is quite huge with the shield and 2 full arms.
Yeah, we actually had to change the lens because of the size now with the shield. Wouldn't fit on the macro lens anymore. But no, you mentioned it, and I think you also said on cam and also off cam that a miniature this big, especially on the face, has its challenges also with like a wet and wet technique or the loaded brush technique. Yeah, I think you did an awesome job. I think the sculpt, first of all, is amazing.
Yeah,
the detail in the face, the little what do you call that? Like it's not even a bump, but just the detail on the skin and
yeah, very lifelike. Quite amazing. Also, quite close to a certain actress. And yeah, I think it's always challenging when you paint stuff like makeup to add something to the face, but without changing it totally. So
well, I think you really enhanced the right spots there. I mean, honestly, I joked on this on Facebook when we posted the work in progress pictures, but I'm totally in love with this miniature. Like, I mean, from the moment I saw the sculpt, and now even more having watched you paint it the whole time, it's just. That was like vacation. Really
all right.
nice.
So one thing I'm also particularly happy about is how the shield turned out.
Yeah.
The backside adds quite a lot to the figure, and that is not always the case, but it's like the best case. You mentioned earlier, for example, if you go to competitions, it's always good to have something on the back.
Yeah. Well, not only something on the back, which is always good, not always necessary, as we know, but there's a little insider. But what's important here is that you turn the miniature around and you're surprised. I mean, you would probably expect a brown shield.
Yeah.
And now you don't see a brown shield. When you turn it around completely, you basically see no more brown other than on the little leather strap thingy.
Yeah.
And it's really nice. Now, some people on Facebook commented that this is not the right shield for the right outfit. And if you look closely, that's not even the shield you're looking for. We changed it a little bit just for aesthetic reasons. But no, I think it's absolutely magnificent, and especially in this size. It's not small.
No, it's not small, and you have to cover some surface and still have enough detail on there, painted on and sculpted on. So it's really important to have a good balance there between the elements. But yeah, that worked out really, really nicely.
Also, I think what was a good decision is that on the arm protectors, we didn't go for the kind of historically correct black.
Yeah.
We talked about this as we painted that. And also not going for complete metal on these, which you could do if you look at some historic references. You could do it either way, and the way we've chosen to do it is, I think, much better because it's not distracting from the miniature.
Yeah, really true. Especially when you take a look at this area here, it's quite nice to have that warm brown leather tone that picks up a little bit of the hair color, and it kind of makes a nice frame here to the side, framing to the shield.
Yeah, the true metal looks stunning. Of course, the studio lights pick up a little more, but I think right now it looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
We'll see this better later on the photos, but it looks really, really good under normal lighting conditions, and it already looks pretty good even now. That's really cool. Yeah, Ben. As always, with every video you outperform yourself.
Thanks a lot.
And I have to say that I'm particularly happy that we decided to make this part of the Painting Buddha Academy.
Yeah, me too. I get a lot of private messages and messages on Facebook asking about how I do skin without airbrush on pieces in that scale. So I really hope that video will help a lot of you out there to tackle the same problems.
Yeah.
And find a good solution for that.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
So for everyone who's watched this video, as always, thank you so much for your support. Only your support lets us do these kind of things.
Yeah.
And as always, I think we'll be closing with share and enjoy.
Share and enjoy.
Right.
Rúmið svaf í klettagjá, kaldri vetrar nóttu á, verður margt að meini, verður margt að meini, fyrr en dagur fagur rann, fredenni vedregur hann, undan stórum steini, undan stórum steini. Á sér krummi yfir skell, einnig bindi goggen vel, flaug úr fjallagjóðu, flaug úr fjallagjóðu. Hvítir yfir byggt og bú, að bæjum fyrr en vaknir bjú, rævar vængjum skjóðum, rævar vængjum skjóðum. Á sér krummi yfir stjel, einnig bindi goggen vel, flaug úr fjallagjóðu, flaug úr fjallagjóðu. Hvítir